President Bola Tinubu is back in Nigeria after nearly 3 weeks of private visits to France and the UK. He arrived on Monday evening at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, and was received by top aides including FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, NSA Nuhu Ribadu, I should say, and Chief of Staff, that's Femi Gbajabiamila. Though his trip was described as a working visit, the presidency provided little detail, sparking public speculation. Tinubu left Abuja on April 2nd and stayed away for 19 days. During his absence, violent attacks surged in Plateau, Benue, and Borno states. Opposition leaders like Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi criticized this prolonged trip, saying the country suffered while the president was abroad. Now, to provide more perspectives on issues surrounding the travel and return of President Tinubu to Nigeria, as well as the need to develop a Nigerian version of Mar-a-Lago or Camp David to serve as presidential retreat and conserve public funds, Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale. Many thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure being here as usual.
Of course. And this topic... I'm really curious to hear your initial take on it. When we pair it with all the unfortunate incidents that transpired while he was away, could the timing have been worse?
Look, that question is extravagant.
Okay.
Because all these things, the killings have been going on, and now if you are inferring that it's because he's not around that the killings have escalated, I do not buy into that.
Okay.
And then as to recommending Mar-a-Lago or Camp David, and they are far-fetched. The two events, the two locations, I will tell you the antecedents and that they are not relevant to this discussion. Mar-a-Lago is private residence of Trump in Florida. And he fled there from New York when the New York people were after him and were disturbing him. What's the problem?
Well, good. Go on.
He fled there when the New York people were disturbing him. In fact, I read somewhere last 2 days, the fine is going to pay for overvaluing his property in New York, estimated to around 500 million naira, while he's still appealing. That was why he claimed political intimidation and weaponization of the justice system to deal with him. But fortunately for him, the American people believed him and he won the election. So the comparison with Mar-a-Lago does not arise.
No, I'm so sorry for interruption, but when I say the timing in terms of this trip, I mean the state of the country. We saw how the president, for instance, looked at the situation in River State, for instance.
You cannot say it's because he went away.
No. I'm not saying it's because he went away, but was it sensitive knowing the state of affairs to more or less abandon ship, as some people are seeing it, while so many states were in turmoil?
You see, that is part of what we discussed yesterday, that the venom in criticism has become personal and destructive. That is what you are echoing. Do you get me? People have been killed all along. And we have chief of army staff, we have chief of naval staff, chief of defense staff, national. So if Tinubu is not around, those people cannot function.
Well, he's the first citizen of the country, and a lot of people are looking up to him. But I would like to bring your attention to something, Mr. Sobowale.
Yes.
Now, so a key aspect, according to the report, a key aspect of the meeting included joint effort to advance lasting peace in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, with emphasis on multilateral cooperation and the role of regional stakeholders. And a lot of people are asking, why did the president prioritize efforts to achieve peace in the DRC when his own country is in a state of chaos?
It's burning. You will answer that question yourself.
Well, you are the expert.
That is the information put out by his people when people said he has abandoned ship and they don't know where he has gone to. So they told them the meetings he was having with people. But you assumed in this topic we are treaty now, that he went for a retreat.
No assumption.
No, that's all.
We're reading out the facts to you.
If you mention Camp David is where presidents of the U.S. used to settle quarrels between the Arabs and the Israelis. During Qatar. So why are you mentioning
that? We've even left that.
You don't even need to take.
Okay, you are facing.
Now we're talking about. Yes,
okay.
The fact that it's focusing on creating peace or establishing peace in the DRC when there are chaos or there is chaos in Benue, in Plateau, in Borno, and a lot of people are asking why the president is not, charity begins at home.
That's right. So you should visit all those places and put them in order.
He should make,
all right,
you are realizing governance.
Okay, for instance, yesterday we had that discussion with. I'm trying to remember the.
I will not indulge in that.
Mr. Lobby.
You are realizing governance.
Where citizens were basically advised to take up, their self-defense, more or less.
Danjuma has always said that.
Yes.
That's Theophilus Danjuma. And why he said that was because security. He has said that about 10 years ago. No, go and find out.
Mr. Sobowale,
he said that about because the Jukum, his people were being, and he's Christian. If you know what is going on in Benue Plateau, it's almost like a religious crisis. So he said, if the government cannot defend people, people should defend themselves. I buy into that.
You buy into that, Mr. Sobowale, but I think I recall, I don't want to put words in your mouth, you have said that the first responsibility of government is to defend the lives and property of those that put the citizens in office. So why should we?
Still say it again.
Yeah, so if we're going by your words.
You do not get me.
No,
I will repeat it. As a government, is any government that consistently upholds a right to using violence legitimately to promote peace in its own territorial area. You get me? What I'm saying is that Tinubu should take on the government, should take on these people disturbing the public peace because they are challenging his authority.
Is he actually taking them on? If he travels the way he does?
His traveling does not mean anything. Don't trivialize government.
We're not trivializing government, but we do have a right to hold him accountable.
See, we are in a world which is a global village, unless you want to live in medieval times. So you can communicate from anywhere with many people. But my quotation, which you are quoting now, is that he should defeat these people. That's the meaning of government. If he does not defeat them, then his sitting authority is losing his governance. His right to govern.
The question is he putting measures in place to defeat them?
If he has defeated them, we won't be having all these.
Exactly. So is he getting distracted by the international, moves or the missions he's taking up on the international scene?
Look, there's a dictum in international relations that you do not live in a vacuum. And you cannot say because you are focusing on what is inside, you cannot look at what is outside. Because help will come from outside. So forget about that.
But if they say the president is trying to proffer solution to the chaos in DRC.
The president?
Yes.
They said they discussed.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything wrong.
If they say this discuss with the people from Vietnam, you will say because Nigeria is bonding, he has no right to discuss with them.
Perhaps we need to
prioritize. Let's look at
the venom.
Let's look at the account of the opposition. Yes. Which of course they have every right to disclose with what Atiku and Peter Obi are saying. Yes. They're criticizing this gesture by the president. It might come across as relatively insensitive to an extent where things are happening to the magnitude that they are, with our insecurity being so high, and the president is going on these long trips, and it just doesn't look as though he's attacking it with the same fire and fury or the passion that we saw when it came to the Rivers situation. So should we see a similar replication of what we saw in Rivers in these other states?
Are you Japanese? You live in Nigeria. We've been at
if you see me as Japanese, that's fine.
You see, terrorism is on the rise. Insecurity is on the rise. You see, the NSA and the military chiefs are people who should be feeling the heat because they are in charge. They work ultimately, the work stops on the president table. I'm not holding brief for the president. Let these people hold brief for him. But I do not like mischievous connotation of his absence. It is not on. And it is sort of criticism that draws fire and is self-destructive for our country. Next question.
Well, Mr. Dayo Sobowale, we'll have to end the conversation here, but you know how they say that when you don't provide enough information, you leave room for speculation. And that's why a lot of people were even speculating that it went on medical reasons.